Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is July the 27th, 2024, and today the topic is Message for My People. Happy Saturday. Yes, happy Saturday, everybody. I hope you guys had a wonderful Friday. Mine was just fine. Yes, mine was good overall. Highlights where I ended up recording 2 episodes of the GSL talk show. Both were good, but one gentleman had a very powerful testimony that I felt led to just bump his episode up. So his episode is going to actually come out next week. For those of that actually listen to this and you're following your girl and things of that nature, I'll just go on the record and saying that I believe that this will be GSL's first time tackling the LGBT conversation. Um, Even though this first episode is more so his testimony, so just a heads up about that. We're going to be listening to him share his testimony and things of that nature. And he's supposed to come back so we can get into, I guess, questions and things of that nature as well. So that, obviously was moving to me enough to, again, bump him up and things like that. And I hope that you guys are blessed by hearing his testimony. So, yeah, man. So those are the two highlights from yesterday. I feel like there was some other stuff that happened yesterday, but I can't remember if there was anything of significance outside of those things. So let's get into this juice, y'all. Let's get into the juice for this morning. A message for my people. I would say that the inspiration this morning, well, actually, I guess I got a little bit more to tell y'all. So, we had a little family time last night. It wasn't an official movie night or nothing like that, but we just had some time to kind of just eat and watch some stuff. My husband was watching X, Y, and Z, just some educational type thing. We were watching these videos about cheese making, and he's into all of that type of stuff, so it's fine. But anywho, and then it got into like watching videos about how fireworks are made and different stuff like that. But anywho, afterwards, I took some time and just was reflecting because for some reason I don't know what it was that reminded me, but got reminded about Enoch last night, and I told you guys, or I think I told you guys that basically in March when it was my sister's birthday, we went and made perfume. I can't remember if I told y'all what I named perfume, but I ultimately, long story short, I ended up naming it Enoch N33. Now there was, now at first I was just gonna name my perfume in 33, but the name Enoch, that it was in my head, and then I happened to talk to my husband, and I was like, oh, I'm thinking of a name, and then he all of a sudden said Enoch, so that felt like confirmation to me, so I named it Enoch N33. And so y'all know I've been having all these conversations with the Chat Holy Bible app and everything like that, and so I just happened to take some time last night to reflect on that because I'm like, is there a deeper meaning behind me naming it Enoch in 33 and everything like that? Like, is there some deeper thing? And it ended up being very profound. Like everything that was coming up with what I was asking a question and I was saying, what could be a biblical reference to Enoch in 33 and different stuff like that. And look, this is the fragrances I use to create the perfume. Like, does this stuff have anything to do with anything? And it seemed like it all was in reference to what's actually happening in my life right now, which seems like a, renewal of sorts and things of that nature. And so, I took some time to reflect on that last night, a little bit, and I'm also getting ready. I think I told you guys about it, but I know I shared it on my social media yesterday, because I felt led to, share that. So my church is getting ready to do 21 days of prayer starting in August on August the 4th. And so me and my family are going to be participating. Me and my husband have been talking about like what that's going to look like, what we're going to do, different things like that. Like how are we going to participate? But one thing I really love about the church is that they provided a lot of different resources. So you guys can go to mwchurch.com and then you should be able to look even in the event section or somewhere it should say 21 days of prayer. And if you go to that link, it has descriptions about fasting, different types of fasts. It has resources, and so yeah, I felt led to share those things yesterday when I saw that. I was like, let me share. So I shared it on social media. So if you guys are feeling like, you know what, I need to embark on this journey too, with the fasting and the prayer for 21 days alongside of me and the church and things like that, by all means. I mean, let me know in the comments if you want to do it, so I can be praying for you while I do that. Now I'm also, thinking about again, what else are we going to quote unquote sacrifice or lay down or whatever the case may be for these 21 days that we are getting ready to embark on. And I think it's very interesting as well that not only is the 21 days happening, but again, this shift in our household is going to be happening with my son going to school, and again, it happening virtually and all the stuff that we've been planning and stuff like that. And like I said, I know there's still some housekeeping slash like they said, what they call it, like nesting, I guess you would say, that needs to take place, because I want to, try to set him up a school area in our house and things of that nature. And so, make it feel like a little school for him and things like that. And so, hopefully I'll take some time to do some of that today. But anyway, so I was reflecting on all of these different things, and eventually I just was like, okay, I'm going to turn some mindless TV back on and just go to sleep. This morning I woke up a couple of times. So one of the first times I woke up was around 4:02. And so I made a note of that. I do my thing, plug it into Google. I put Bible 442 or whatever case may be, or 402. And then I went back to sleep. And then the next time I got up was around 4:33, I think it was, or 4:31. So when I got up around that time, I guess I would say I officially got up. I ended up, doing a lot of different little things, looking on social media, all that type of stuff. But when I listened to the prayer meditation twice this morning, I think, because I listened to it when I first woke up, and then I listened to it again. And it was good, but I don't necessarily remember it right now. But what led me to the topic is when I went and started looking at the verses that came up with those numbers, 4:2 and 4:31. Well, first they were resonating, and I was like, okay, this is good. But then when I looked at them all together, it felt like a message. And so when I finally settled down to start writing down these verses for the Jews, ultimately, yes, the phrase message for my people came into my heart and mind. And so that's where the inspiration came from today. Now, y'all know, usually, again, when multiple verses uh, feels like one message to me, I usually read them all at one time, instead of reading them separately. So I think I feel led to do that today with the three verses that were standing out to me to share. But just so you know where they came from, they are in the Go Deeper section, but I'm going to read them. The first one is from Malachi 4:2. The second one is from 1 Peter 4:2. And then the last one is from Ephesians 4:31. Okay. So, yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and read those, and then we'll see what what else the Lord wants to say through me. So here we go. This is the message for my people. I believe that the Lord is sharing with me to share with you guys. All right, here we go. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness rise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. That he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of God. Let all bitterness, let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. So, friends, I know I jumbled it up a bit, but did you guys get the message that was in those three verses? I talked to the chat Holy Bible things. I was like, help me make sure that, well, one, I felt like it was good news. Like when I was reading these things, I felt like it was good news. And for those that are believers, this can be good news for us today. And I mean, we can break it down here. Let's take a look. So that first verse says, but unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise, with healing in his wings. So I mean, the whole verse is standing out to me, honestly. But I mean, if we just talk about that part right there, again, it's telling us that, again, those of us that fear the Lord, righteousness is going to arise with healing, y'all. And then it wraps up to say that we're going to be able to go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. And I mean, there you can look at different versions of the Bible. Obviously, this is KJV, but you can look at different versions, and it talks about, it explains that in different ways. Like one verse I saw this morning said something about, fattened calves. Another one, when I was talking to the Chat Holy Bible app, it kind of was talking about calves grazing. But either way, ultimately, it's talking about us being able to grow, go forth and grow. Um, so again, we need to be fearing God and his name. And then as we do that, righteousness is going to heal, and we'll be able to go forth and grow. Like, that's what I'm getting for that first verse. Then that second verse, y'all, it's saying that no longer should he or should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of God. I mean, obviously that's a word all by itself, but again, we don't have to live to, again, sin and, the lust of the flesh and things of that nature. I mean, I feel like I'm on this journey of, I don't know if I would say enlightenment, but I'm on this journey of growth, right? Maturity in this area. I feel like there's things that I am laying down. I feel like when I'm observing in myself these days is, again, being more vocal, which I know you guys probably, if you listen to me on Juice, y'all probably like, oh, you always vocal. But I mean, I guess not necessarily when it comes to things that cause conflict and things of that nature. Like, usually, I'm kind of low key, laid back, or whatever the case may be. But I think God is calling me to use my voice more, in different areas, or whatever the case may be. So I can see that in myself, with the growth and maturity and trusting in the Lord. And then ultimately that wraps up with telling us how can we receive this. And it's telling us to let go of all the bitterness, and it names all these different things: wrath, anger, clamor, evil speaking, and put away all these things with malice. So again, ultimately, what I received this morning, I guess what the juice is this morning in this message, the overall thing is a good message. And I say good news for those that are believers. But the overall, what I believe is showing us here is that there's hope, there's need for transformation and surrender. So that's ultimately the juice this morning. I want you guys, for the Go Deeper section, all I put in there was to reflect on the message. I hope that it encourages you and inspires you, whoever you are listening to the sound of my voice. Because like I said, that is ultimately the juice. Now, the Bible verse of today is 1 Timothy 6:12. It says, fight the good fight of faith, lay hold on eternal life, whereunto thou art also called, and has professed a good profession before many witnesses. Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all on Monday, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.